I had everything a man could desire: power, honor, victory. When I walked into a room, men stood. When I spoke, armies moved. The king himself trusted me. But there was something no one could see beneath the armor. Something I hid, even from those closest to me.
Welcome to Testament Unspoken, where we bring biblical stories to life through the eyes of those who lived them. Each episode offers a raw, first-person perspective on some of the most powerful figures in Scripture, told with emotion, honesty, and depth. Please subscribe for more stories like this.
My flesh was dying. Slowly, silently, relentlessly. Leprosy. A word that doesn't just describe disease, but disgrace. Because a man like me is not supposed to be weak. Not supposed to be unclean. Not supposed to be broken. And yet, every night, when the armor came off, the truth was waiting. Rotting skin. Numb flesh. A future slipping through my fingers. I conquered enemies on the battlefield, but I could not conquer what was consuming me from within. So I made a decision that no general should ever have to make. I would leave everything behind and travel into enemy territory for a chance at healing. But what I found there was not what I expected, because the greatest battle I would ever fight was not against disease. It was against my own pride. I was respected, feared, trusted. But then comes the sentence that shattered everything. But he had leprosy. 4 words, that's all it takes. To expose the illusion of control, because I could command armies, but not my own body. I began to live 2 lives. One the world saw, strong, confident, untouchable. And the other hidden beneath layers of cloth and silence. Decaying, fragile, afraid. Leprosy is not just a disease, it is a sentence, a slow exile. A future where people do not just avoid you, they erase you. I watched my skin carefully. Every mark, every numb place, every change. And with each passing day, fear grew louder. Not fear of death, but fear of exposure. Because the moment they knew, everything would be taken. My position, my honor, my identity. And so I hid. Even from those closest to me, especially from them. Hope did not come from a king or a priest or a warrior. It came from a servant girl, a captive from Israel. She had every reason to hate me, yet she spoke with compassion. If only my master would see the prophet in Samaria, he would cure him. A slave, speaking life into a general. I almost dismissed her, almost, because pride has a way of rejecting small voices. But desperation makes you listen. So I went to the king, and the king of Aram sent me with a letter to the king of Israel. Silver, gold, garments. We brought well, as if healing could be purchased. But when the king of Israel read the letter, he panicked. Am I God? Can I kill and bring back to life? He thought it was a trap. A political move to provoke war. Because when men do not know God, everything looks like a threat. But then word reached the prophet, Elisha, and he sent a message. Have the man come to me, and he will know that there is a prophet in Israel. So I went with my horses, my chariots, my expectations. Surely this would be a grand moment, a dramatic encounter. A prophet standing before me, calling down power from heaven. But what happened next offended me. I stood outside his house, waiting, expecting honor, recognition, respect. But the prophet never came out. He didn't greet me, didn't acknowledge my status, didn't even look at me. Instead, he sent a messenger. A messenger with simple instructions. Go, wash yourself 7 times in the Jordan, and your flesh will be restored. That was it. No ceremony, no spectacle, no reverence for who I was. And something inside me snapped. I thought he would surely come out to me. I was furious, offended, humiliated, because I expected healing to match my status. I expected something worthy of me. I turned to leave, angry, ready to walk away from my miracle, all because it didn't look the way I wanted. The Jordan River was not impressive. It wasn't clean. It wasn't honorable, but healing was waiting there. And I had a choice: protect my dignity or save my life. I wasn't angry about the river. I was angry about my pride. The Jordan River. Dirty. Common. Unworthy. I had cleaner rivers at home. Better waters, better options. So I turned away, ready to leave, ready to remain sick, as long as I could remain proud. But then, my servant spoke again. If he had asked something great, would you not do it? I would have done something difficult, something heroic, something impressive, but something simple, something humbling that I resisted. Because pride does not mind effort. It resists surrender. I stepped into the river, each step heavier than the last. The water was cold, unimpressive, ordinary. Nothing about it felt miraculous. I dipped once. Nothing. Twice. Nothing. 3 times. Still nothing. By the 4th dip, doubt whispered, "This is foolish." By the 5th, leave. By the 6th, you've humbled yourself enough. But healing was not in partial obedience. It was waning in completion. The 7th. And in that moment, everything changed. My skin was new. No scars, no decay, no trace of disease. I stood there in silence, because the miracle was not just physical. Something deeper had been healed. The part of me that needed to control everything was gone. I went back to Elisha, not as a proud general, but as a changed man. Now I know that there is no God in all the world except in Israel. I tried to offer gifts, but he refused, because what God gives cannot be bought. I thought I came for healing of the body, but I was healed of something far more dangerous. Pride. Because leprosy was killing my flesh, but pride was killing my soul. And if I had walked away that day, I would have kept my dignity and lost my life. So hear me clearly. Your miracle may not look like what you expected. It may come through a voice you almost ignore. It may require a step that feels beneath you. But healing is not found in your comfort. It is found in your surrender. So the question is not, do you need a miracle? The question is, are you willing to lay down your pride to receive it? Father, break the pride in us that keeps us from your healing. Give us the humility to obey. Even when it feels small, even when it feels uncomfortable, teach us that your ways are higher than ours. And lead us to the place where true transformation begins.